Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Budhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Shalom. So today in this video, I want to start telling and tell you about the mind map that I ever made before. The mind map is about the one of popular novel series that is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Before she made the Allegiant Novel, the first two books in the series are titled Divergent and Insurgent. The series has been highly acclaimed and is well regarded in the young adult genre. It received a Goodreads Choice Award in the category of Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction in 2013. Okay, the first is I want to tell you about the general information. The title of novel is Allegiant. The author is Veronica Roth. The genre is science fiction and also romance, which tells the love story of Tris and Four. And the page book is 526 page. And this novel released on October 22, 2013. So we will start from the summary. The fiction-based society that Tris Prior once lived and believed is not what she has known it to be. She was offered to explore the world beyond the wall. Tris is ready and go out into the world with Tobias, Peter, and the others. Tris and Tobias believe that by going beyond the wall, they could go live a simpler life together, being free from lies and secrets, complicated loyalties, and painful memories. Later on, Tris finds this place called the Bureau of Genetic Welfare, a government agency supposedly working to fix the genetic damage that has been a problem in the United States for many years. Tris and Tobias must come to terms with life outside the city, while deciding for themselves if the Bureau is an evil organization. Eventually, when the city is on the verge of an all-out war between Evelyn and the Allegiant, Tris and her friends must act to stop the Bureau from resetting the memories of everyone in the experiment. The next is main character. In this novel, Beatrice Tris Prior, or we can call Tris, is the main character. She is brave, stubborn, and also curious. She has to be brave to withstand the objectless that she had to face. And the second is the Tobias Ford. He is very brave, intelligent, and secretive. He and Tris are romantically in love throughout the story. And the Bureau of Genetic Welfare. They are the people who watch the place where Beatrice was living before, also known as a Chicago experiment. And the next is secondary character. The one is Caleb, Tris' brother, who chose to transfer from abnegation to erudite. His and Tris' relationship is tense throughout the story. Next is Christina, Tris' best friend. She was raised Condor but transferred to Dauntless in the same year as Tris. The next is Peter. His major struggle in the novel is over deciding take the memory serum, thus resetting his memory and rendering himself a new person. The next is David, the leader of the Bureau. He is obsessed with the Bureau's attempts to heal genetic damage, and also Matthew, Nita, and Evelyn Johnson as a mother of four. So the next I will tell you about the plot. The first is exposition. After Evelyn forbids any citizen from leaving Chicago, she announced that all erudite members involved in the Precious Cup attempts are to be put on trial and executed if they are found guilty. Tris and Four rescue Caleb from execution and try to escape over the wall, along with Tori, Peter, and Christina. But when the group climbed the wall, Tori has been shot by Edgar. But the group, there is Four, Tris, Christina, Peter, and Caleb, is escapes and pass the wall. The next plot is inciting moment. Once outside, However, they discover new truths that will shift their allegiance and introduce new threats. It is interrupted by soldiers with advanced weaponry who take Tris for Caleb, Peter, and Christina to the Bureau of Genetic Welfare, a city of advanced technology that is hidden behind the cloaking sail. The next plot is raising action. 4. Mistrust the Bureau's intention after he realized that they are simply kidnapping children and whipping their memories with amnesia gas. 4. Also attempts to warn Tris to Bureau intention, but they are interrupted by a video call from David. She decides to go with David, who agrees to reinsert 4 into Chicago under the escort of Matthew and some Bureau soldiers. Once in the air, Matthew quickly reveals to 4 that the flight is a trap, and he is meant to be killed. 4 defeats all soldiers, and the plane crashes as a result. And then Matthew back to the Bureau, and 4 still go to Chicago. So the next is conflict. Meanwhile, Tris disagrees with the council objectives and criticizes their refusal to stop the violence in Chicago. Tris cancels the project with David because Tris knows that David is lies with her. So Tris returns to gather Caleb and Christina with David hovercar and return to Chicago. And in the Chicago, 4 has been captured by the factionless and he is in the jail. And Evelyn meets 4 and 4 says, please end the violence to Evelyn, but Evelyn doesn't hear 4. Next, back at the Bureau, David makes a deal with Peter in exchange for Peter's promotion and inserts him into Chicago to convince Evelyn to deploy a hidden Bureau stockpile of amnesia gas to wipe the memories of attackers. So Peter takes Evelyn to a hidden vault and suggests Evelyn to start the amnesia gas. So, however, Tris arrives in Chicago and rescuing 4. After rescuing 4, Tris and Christina fight through the factionless and arrive at the vault. And at the vault, 4 convince Evelyn to stop the gas attack, as she would not remember her if she carries it out. So if Evelyn still doing the amnesia gas, 4 says 4 is never remember that Evelyn is his mom, and she capitulates and stop the release, but issued delayed by a frustrated Peter, who gloats until the same gas starts flooding the vault as well. In the following action, realizing David has betrayed him, Peter opens the vault so that Tris and 4 can stop the gas release. Peter flies back towards and cloaking set, and 4 falls to find and kill Peter. Caleb arrives and aids Tris in destroying the gas dispersion hook, which stops the release. And at the end, Tris transmits a message to the whole world that reveals to them the existence of Bureau and that Chicago was an experiment in genetic purity. Her message to the Bureau is that Chicago is no longer their experiment, but now is the home of its citizens. As the group watch, David's image is relieved to stand behind Tris via a Bureau remote viewing device. So in this novel, I like 3 scenes that make me amazed. The first is when the group escape the wall and arrive in the empty city and start the blooding rain from the sky. So after the group is arrived in the empty city, and the sky start to blooding. to rain bleeding, so the body is full of blood. And the second is the parts when David gives Trish a device that allows her to view a foster mother's memory. So David gives some device to Trish, and Trish can see the children of her mother. And the last one is the part in the end when Trish transmits a message and David's image is relieved to stand behind Trish via Bureau remote viewing device. That's so amazing. Okay, so this is the end of the video. So thank you for watching this, but I suggest you to read the novel and watch the Allegiant film because it's very amazing. So thank you and see ya in the next video. Bye. Thank you.